I wanted to be free. And I knew the meaning, at least I could sense the meaning of freedom. And when I finally got here, I realized that I was right.
Why?
Why? Because I lived under communism, and I knew the restrictions. I knew the poverty, not only the actual poverty, I knew the poverty of the spirit. I knew you weren't allowed to do many things that you really wanted to do. You couldn't say anything that you just wanted to say. You couldn't be true and honest. You had to stand in line to get bread. You had to stand in line to get meat. I lived all that in Hungary, so I wasn't feeling free. Ever since I was a little kid, I always wanted freedom. I remember that very distinctly. So I wanted freedom, and I knew that when the 1956 revolution came about and the borders were open towards Austria, I knew that was my chance. I knew it instinctively. It was an instinct. So I decided I wanted to come. And I told my mother if she doesn't want to come, I will go alone. And eventually she agreed, and we came out.
And do you like here? Do you like here?
I like it here. This is my country now. I'm loyal to America. I call myself an American patriot. I am an American. Just like in Hungary they call them hazafi. In America they are called patriots, and I feel that I'm an American patriot. I'm trying to defend all that America is about. Bring that to the attention of many, many people, mainly Americans, who don't know what they're losing. So
This is part of that that you begin to teach the Jose Silva mind control. How did you get involved in these things?
well, it has nothing to do with why I'm here, or it could be part of my mission in some way, but that's not how I got into it. I got into this life after my 39-year career on Wall Street, where I was a financial advisor. And when that was over, I knew that I wanted to walk another path.
But
I didn't know what at the time. I had no idea, but I was so fed up with the hypocrisy and the superficial corruptness of Wall Street that I wanted to leave that behind. So I went on a vision quest. All right, and a vision quest is exactly what it says. You go out there someplace in the wilderness and you questing for visions. You're looking for visions related to what is it that you're about? What am I supposed to be doing? And for me, the 11-day vision quest was an overwhelming success. And it brought out my other self, it brought out my spirituality. And when I say spirituality, I'm not talking about religion, I'm talking about my spirit. It brought it out and brought it to the surface, and that's when I started really thinking about it and working and listening to my spirit. And that's when I started to walk another path.
you were offered to a $300,000 job and you just left that. How was these things? Can you tell this story?
Well, when I left Wall Street is all about ego. Wall Street is all about making money. And I was very well versed in Wall Street. And but I always also made it my business that whatever I did it well. I was very proud of what I did and how far I got, but I always knew what I was doing. And I always did my very best, and for that reason I was rewarded. But when my job was over, my company was sold, I did not ask for another job because I knew I wanted to do something else. So when I walked away, I still had connections to Wall Street, and one day I got a telephone call telling me that the woman who was running the IT department in this large firm with 500 people left the job. So my ego kicked in, and I said to myself, wow, that's really my job. I probably left too soon. I could probably get that job for myself. And I started really entertaining going back there and getting this position. And by this time, I have taken the Silva method course. I've also taken the Ultra course with Laszlo Domjan. And I started using one of the Ultra course's methods, which is subjective communications. And all the people who took this course, they know about this, and they can use this particular method for whatever they want. So what I did is at night, before I went to bed, I went to my level and I said, I want to wake up during the night when the CEO of this firm that I wanted to get back into is the most receptive to what I have to say to him. And then I went to sleep. And sure enough, 4 o'clock in the morning, my eyes popped open and I'm lying there and I don't understand why, because I totally forget what happened. So it took me a few seconds to realize why my eyes popped open, and then I sat up. I didn't put any lights on or anything, and I went back into my level, sitting up, and then I started to say all the things that I wanted to say to this fellow that I already prepared in my mind the night before. So what I did is I talked to him very gently, and I said, so-and-so, you know that this is my job. I'm perfectly capable of getting this job, and I want to be in the running for it. And I greeted him very nicely and talked to him very gently. And that was it. And I went back to sleep. And then, in the morning, 11 o'clock in the morning the next day, or that day actually, I get a telephone call from the company, one of the partners calling me and informing me that this job is available and that if I want, I could be in the running. And I said to myself, wow, this is incredible, and this method is really working. And I was really getting very excited because we're talking about a job that's anywhere between $200,000 and $300,000, more at the higher end. So that was that. The following morning, 8 o'clock in the morning, I get a telephone call from Pennsylvania from a friend telling me, and who is a Silva practitioner, by the way, who goes to level every single morning, early in the morning, into her laboratory. She's telling me that she was in her laboratory when she got a message from one of her guides, one of her counselors, telling her that he has a message for Alice, and that as soon as she's done with what she's doing, she's to call me because this is very urgent. It's important that I get this message. So the message that this young woman received and gave me 8 o'clock in the morning is, do not let how you walked before interfere with how you walk now. This was such an important message for me, and it really got to the deepest part of my spirit and my heart, so that I knew immediately that I'm giving up the whole idea of going back to New York, because I do not belong there any longer. And this is exactly what I did. I called them up and I told them I wasn't interested, and that was the end of that. And after that, I just went on with the Silva courses. I became a Silva method instructor, and that's been 5 years ago now. I've had several classes, and also in the meantime I became a hypnotist. I have several certifications. I'm an advanced clinical hypnotist. I have a regular hypnosis practice where I help a lot of people with their many issues, human issues. And just recently I took a course from Dolores Cannon and learned from her specific method of past life regression, which is an amazing course and an amazing method. And I already started doing past life regressions, and they are becoming more successful every time. So I'm very happy with what I'm doing. I'm also happy that life and the universe is presenting me with different things on this path that I walk for the rest of my life. And this is what I want to do.